ancient voodoo symbols used to bind and summon spirits. Suddenly, a cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles. In the pitch-black darkness, Claire heard whispers, low and guttural, speaking in a language she couldn't understand. Panic surged within her, but she forced herself to remain calm and fumbled for her flashlight. When she finally managed to turn it on, she gasped in horror. Standing before her were translucent figures, their faces twisted in agony. The spirits of those who had been sacrificed in the voodoo rituals, bound to the plantation by the curse, stared at her with hollow, accusing eyes. Claire backed away slowly, her flashlight beam trembling. A voice echoed through the room, deep and resonant, "You should not have come here." The spirits began to move closer, their forms flickering like old film reels. Claire turned and ran, her footsteps echoing through the empty halls. She could feel the cold grasp of the spirits closing in on her. As she reached the doorway, something tripped her, sending her sprawling to the floor. Her flashlight rolled away, its beam casting wild shadows. Claire looked up to see the innkeeper standing over her, her eyes now glowing with an unnatural light. "The spirits must be appeased," the old woman intoned. "And you, my dear, have wandered too far into their domain." Claire tried to scramble to her feet, but spectral hands pulled her back. The innkeeper raised a ceremonial knife, chanting in an ancient tongue. Claire screamed, the sound swallowed by the night as the spirits closed in around her. The next morning, the townsfolk found the plantation house eerily silent, that air thick with a lingering sense of dread. Claire's belongings were discovered abandoned at the inn, but of the journalist herself, there was no trace. The locals knew better than to search the old plantation house, for they believed that once the spirits claimed a soul, it was lost forever. And so, the legend of Eldridge grew, another soul added to the countless others trapped by the voodoo curse. The townsfolk continued their whispered warnings, ensuring that the tale of the evil spirits and the forbidden rituals was never forgotten.